In this video, I'm going to talk about the last project in the course, which is the Project Choice project. I know it's not a very unique name, and it's mainly because you have 3 different choices on what you can do for your final project. Now, this video was made for both my in-person and online class, so there's a little bit of differences between the two, but for the most part they're the same, which is why I'm combining them into one video. So here I am in Blackboard, and what we're going to go through is just the project choice overview, which I have open already. This particular one is for the face-to-face class, but I will point out differences between this and the online class. Now, although you get to choose between 3 different projects, the deadlines for all 3 of them are the same. The first one would be watching the introductory video, which you're currently doing, and then complete the follow-up quick quiz. In a couple weeks, you'll submit a project outline, then you'll submit the project file, and then you'll present the project. If you're in the online class, presenting the project would just be sharing your project in a discussion board, whereas in the face-to-face class, we will have a presentation day where we will view all of the projects. So let's talk about the different choices you have. So the first one is a PSA, or a public service announcement, and this can be on an environmental issue of your choice. It needs to be 1 to 3 minutes in length, and it can't just be a slideshow of a whole bunch of words over and over again. There actually is a limit to only 30 written words at most on the video. Also, this is not a collage of pictures and videos you find. You need to be recording things. This isn't to say that you can't take images or videos as well from the internet, because maybe you need them to illustrate something, but the majority of the video does need to be your own. Because it's a public service announcement, not only will you post it to YouTube so that we can view it, but also anyone who is in your group needs to post it to social media. The PSA is not for students in our class. The PSA is to get the word out as wide and far as we can. You will need to share one piece of data, so you can't just be like, recycling's cool. You should have some sort of data, some sort of information that backs up why whatever your PSA is about is important. For the PSA, you need to introduce the problem, so maybe it's trash accumulation, and then also the solution, so recycling, for example. And although you're making a video and you may be doing the filming, the video does not have to include you. If you do not want to be in the video, you do not have to be in the video. You can work in a group if you want to. You can also create a video on your own. If you do want to work in a group, you can work with 1 or 2 other students, so groups no bigger than 3. For the project outline, essentially all I need is just a very rough idea of what your video is going to look like, what is it going to include, what's your intro, what's your solution, as well as your piece of data. And then again, you'll submit the video to YouTube, and then you're just going to pass along that link to me. We'll talk about presentations at the very end, since it will be different between the 2 courses. Similarly, you can make a video that is a commercial, an advertisement for a product, particularly an environmentally friendly product. So maybe you're really into reusable grocery bags. You could make a commercial for those reusable grocery bags. The rubric is actually very similar to the PSA. You're getting graded on, for the most part, the same thing. So just take a look through this, but pretty much the same thing as the PSA. It's just the focus of your video is a little bit different. Just like the PSA, you can work in groups if you want to. Otherwise, you can work solo. And then finally, if you don't want to make a video, you can create an environmentally friendly product flyer. So maybe you want to do the commercial, you want to advertise something that you think is really great and that other people should purchase, but you don't want to make a video. Instead, you can make a flyer and you'd be giving a sales pitch. So the flyer is just a 1-page piece of paper, just like a regular printer page. You will make it digitally, so no hand drawing them, unless your hand drawing is high quality, and I will let you be the judge of that, but for the most part, everyone has done them using the computer. You need to include information about the product. So what is it? Where can you get it? How much is it? What is your review of the product? So this is a product you need to purchase if you don't already have it. So you need to purchase it, you need to own it, and you need to write a review of it. You know, we see all these cool products, but are they really that good? And this is where you come in. You're letting all of us know, like, yeah, this works amazingly well, or yeah, kind of the worst product for the environment is actually a lot better in quality. You also need to find a piece of data that kind of addresses why we want to use this product in the first place. We'll talk about this presentation in a little bit, and yeah, we'll scroll down. So those are our three major projects. You can make a PSA video, you can make an advertisement video for a product, or you can make a flyer for a product. So you can choose one of those three. Now, if you're like, well, some of these or multiple of these appeal to me, you can earn extra credit by completing a second different project. So if you created the flyer, you could also create a commercial. If you really like videos, you can make a PSA and you can make a commercial. So you can do a second project and earn up to 5 points for that. If you do decide to do a second project, you just need to only submit the final file. You do not need to complete the outline for it, though you can, and I'll give you feedback on it. One last thing that applies to both classes is in the quick quiz that follows this video, it's going to ask you what topics and what projects you want to do. So think about what you may want to do and come up with a couple ideas. So for example, for the product flyer, you know, if 5 students want to use reusable straws, that's going to be really boring, right? You're going to be watching 5 presentations about reusable straws. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking through all of y'all's suggestions, and I am going to identify like, yeah, let's do this one, or you know what, let's go with your second one because there's already 2 people doing the first one. So just come up with quite a few ideas just so that we can minimize the amount of overlap of projects in the class. All right, now we're going to diverge between the online class and the face-to-face class. So let's talk about the face-to-face class. We actually have a day in the syllabus for presentations. The way presentations will work is if you created a video, you actually do not need to do anything. You'll be uploading your video. I am going to collect all of the YouTube links for y'all's videos, and on presentation day, we're just going to show them. That's it. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to present. You have done all your work by creating that video. After the video is now the time for people who did flyers. And so around the classroom, we'll have all the flyers set up. You will need to bring in your product. So that's part of your grade, is bringing in your product on presentation day. I think I have that right here. So you need to bring it to class to showcase it. And some of your points is based on your sales pitch, so to speak. I just want you to be talking with other people. I am not going to be grading you on what you say, how well your presenting skills were, but what I do care about is that you were talking to other people and that you were talking about your product. So just keep that in mind, is that if you're doing the flyer, you might think, well, this is a little bit easier, I just need to make a poster. Yes, but you also have to do something on presentation day. Bring in your product and you'll be giving a sales pitch to people. Now, if you're in the online class, we can't really do that because we're not together. What we're going to do is in the discussion board, each of you, when you submit your final product, if you did a video, all you need to do is just post your YouTube link as a new thread in the discussion board. If you did the flyer, you're going to post your flyer, but then you also need to write a substantial paragraph that is your sales pitch. So if someone were to come buy this product from you, what would you tell them? And so although you might be including a lot of the information from your flyer, this should be more casual. What would you actually say to someone? In the online class, not only will you need to post that initial thread, you do need to do some replies, but you don't need to do that many. Just 4, and they are not substantial at all. I can imagine that you won't really have much to say when you see someone's video. Maybe like a, cool, that was really awesome. That's okay. Each reply is only worth half a point because I understand they're not going to be substantial replies. I encourage you to leave more because in the online class, you're going to be doing a peer review of one another, of each other's videos, of each other's flyers. Those of you in the face-to-face class, you will also be doing a peer review. It's just you'll be doing it during presentation day, so it's not something you have to submit on Blackboard. So in the online class, you have to view everyone's anyway, so if you want to post more, go for it. I encourage you to because you're going to be watching everyone's stuff anyway. The last thing I'm going to do, that's pretty much all the instructions. I have the project completely on Blackboard already, so that's probably how you found this video. You've got your quick quiz, the project outline. This is the online class, so this is also showing the discussion board as well as the peer review. For the in-person class, we just have the assignment for the final project because I will be printing everything out for you guys. And so with that, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. But I hope you enjoy this project because it's really meant to be kind of an easier, relaxing, and creative way to end our semester.